Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
Couldn't have timed that better, I guess. How's everybody doing today? How are we doing? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I think my camera might be a little off, or it might just be like right on. I'm going to try to move it because somebody was in here messing with stuff. That might be a little better. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. How's everybody doing today? How are we doing? How are we doing? It is Monday. Oh my gosh, it's Monday. It's only Monday. It's only Monday. I thought it was Tuesday today. Monday the 18th of August, and we're missing out on the summer out there. But the reason why I'm missing out today is because the pool's closed. I don't know what's going on with that pool, but they better fix it, and they better fix it quick because I'm ready to get back in there. But welcome in. It's good to see everybody. Let me show the comments on the screen. That way, if you guys want to see them on the screen, you'll be able to, even though they seem to be like bite size. They're not very big. But we're going to do a day live today, too. Day live. Hey, Pink Glitter. Hey, Michelle. Welcome in. Let me go up to the top here and see who we have in here. I think we actually beat some of the people in. So let me just start off by saying that I didn't mean to have a double stream. I don't know if you guys saw that on your side, but on my side, it was showing that I had 2 streams for the same time. Didn't know you could even do that. And so I was trying to delete the one stream, but the stream that you guys were all in, that's the one I deleted on YouTube. So I was like through StreamYard. So I was like, I don't know how to get in there. So I had to redo it all. So sorry about that. StreamYard's a little tricky sometimes, you know? Sometimes we have technical difficulties. It's a live show. A lot of people use that. I'm going to start using that as my excuse. It's a live show. But welcome in, Ashley. I saw Ashley was in it. She's like, I'm coming back. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Maga Mama. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Jackie. Hope you're having a good day, too. It's beautiful out today. That would have been Ishi, I bet, Suzanne. I bet that's who it was. She might be at work today. She's a nurse by day, sleuth by night. Hey, Jet Set. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Citizen Sleuth. Oh, are you a teacher? Or are you like summer's okay? Oh, okay. Summer's officially over. It is. I don't like that word. I don't like that word fall. I do. I love fall. I do. I love fall. I love getting out the pumpkins and I love doing all the little things. But I just love that. I love to be out in the pool, like by the pool, like on a lounge chair. That's my happy place, with the sun just on me. But the last few days, it's gotten a lot hotter in Ohio. I'll tell you that. Hey, Pink Glitter. I said hello, but I'll say hello again. Hey, Simple Southern Mama. Hey, Ice Cream. Brian Coldberger. He probably is cold in there. You're probably right. They keep the temperature very, very, very cold. They want to fight off all the germs. And I still can't get over that video of him. I'm blown away. I'm blown away that somebody was dumb enough to do that and not think that they're going to get caught, right? Because I've been like thinking about this, and the video, whoever took the video, they took it with like a cell phone. So all they have to do is just go back on the cameras. Who was in the little booth at that point, where all the cameras are, who was in there, and that's the person. And I guess they're going to be investigating it. But we heard that also about the Dateline episode, and I don't think we're going to ever hear about who the leak was in the Dateline episode. Hey, Wachichi. Hey, TX, is it Mopper or Moper? Moper. It reminds me of moped. I don't know why, but it does. I used to have a moped. Hello from Oklahoma. I'm from Ohio. I am a teacher. Ice Cream. Didn't you know that? Hey, Tom. Hey, Petunia. Look, everybody's here. Hey, Lacey. Well, look at that, Winnie the Pup. Well, hey, Kathy, look at all that. If anybody would like to become a member throughout the live, I always usually pin the link to the top. So I'm going to pin it to the top, and then we'll get started with reading over some more of these documents, because I was like reading through and I was like, oh, we're getting to some good stuff now. Okay. We were on, I think, this page. Let me double check, make sure. Oh, yeah, because I know one of them, we ended on like an odd number, which is usually weird for me to do. Okay. So thank you all for being here again. Like I said, my name is Tanya, or Titanium Bill, if I didn't introduce myself before. I don't know if I introduced myself or not, but if I didn't, that's my name. My name's Tanya. You can call me that. You can call me Titanium Bill. You can just call me anything but a pro burger, I guess. They did that last night. So these are actually, I have a copy of these on a file. I'm trying to think of where I got them. Just because it says like my name in the, I think you can get, I'll find that out for you. I think you can get them on Reddit. Actually, no, I know where you can get them. Okay, let me go there really quick just so I can show you guys and put it in the chat for you. Because I downloaded it, and so like across the search bar, I just realized I was like, huh, look at that. It says my whole name, which I really don't care. But I know that Sarah over on Twitter, or X, has been working so hard on getting these. Oh, I thought there was more. I was going to say, girl. Okay, so this is the drive. If let me see, copy it. Just making sure it doesn't like. Okay. Here's the Google Drive folder. And let me get you, this is Sarah's Twitter too. So make sure you go over and support. That's the drive, the Google Drive. And then, let me see. Where's her link? Am I on it? I think I'm on it. Oh yeah, I'm on it. And then this is the link for her X page. She's been getting all the documents for a long time now. So, Petunia, it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. 64 candles. Oh, I love that. I love that you're spending it with us. I hope you have a great birthday today. You're an August baby. I'm an October baby. It's coming up. It's coming up quick. um, I think just this one is quick because it's the 40th one. I think after this one, I'll be good. Maybe. So the documents that we were reading over last night were the incident reports that they were getting in, some of them were pretty humorous, to be honest. I believe one of the interviews in here is Jeremy, DNA Jeremy. Do you remember him? He was the neighbor and he was like, I'll give you my DNA to, and everyone was like, calm down, Jeremy. No one wants your DNA. We believe you. We believe you didn't do this, but it was just people were going after him for it. So I think that he's like the second interview in here. And so we'll just kind of go through them, read through them like we were last night. And then as much as I cannot say the word redacted, I'll try not to. If this was a drinking game, everybody would be sloshed in like 5 minutes. Just putting that out there. It's no cage rage or rage cage, but So on November 26th, he was assigned. Okay, let's see. It says this tip was referenced to a few social media accounts regarding photo timestamps. Nothing else was requested. And then the incident was closed. So then the next one, I'm wondering if this is incident 3,164. Like, I'm pretty sure that's probably what it is. I don't know how they, because this one says 775. So I don't know how they put the report in, you know what I mean? Or that might just be the report number, like the code or something. So this tip was in poem form. They got a poem and they were provided GPS coordinates and they told them to go check out that location. So the detectives were like, okay, we're doing our due diligence. We're going to go check it out. It was an open field of nothingness, a muddy field. Who's doing that? Who's wasting the cops' time? I would love to know. Incident 0775, same day, same officers. The tip was to obtain video footage from somebody who owns a store in Moscow. They called and left a voicemail. They called the next day, left a voicemail. Same day later, the next day, they left a voicemail. Yeah, that was a lot of voicemails. So I don't know. I'm assuming that I don't know. It says I provided the FBI link so that Redacted could upload his video. The incident was closed. Like, did you double check to make sure he put the video in? He's not even answering the phone. I wouldn't trust him to put the video in. So on November 27th, same day, they had a rough day. So there was a tip and it was regarding video footage from somewhere in Moscow. The caller was redacted. On the same date, they contacted the same person and they advised that the tip wasn't to obtain video footage, but to let police know that he was on his way to the airport on the day of the homicides and was near the intersection of Taylor Avenue and Blake Avenue and didn't see anyone out and about. Well, okay. That person advised that he drove through the area between 3:55 and 4 a.m. No further on this incident. I wonder if like that could have been just one of the people that were on like one of those like camera angles that people were getting, and they're like, that's who did it, that person in that car. And they were probably just driving, home. So then this is for phone information from one of the occupants involved in the homicide investigation. It showed them using one of their apps on November 12th. The same day, the detective and I went to the location, and it was located in Moscow, and they met with someone who was the manager for that day. They said he didn't have access to the video. I provided him my business card on the same day. That person called me and advised me he sent me an email with a link to submit a video request to the corporate offices, I guess, of the business. I advised the detective of the link, and he told me to email him the link, and he would forward it on to those who would need the video. Okay. Well, I hope people were doing stuff they were supposed to be doing. Like no checkbacks. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know. I used to be a manager of a store. Now I own a store. It's just a little different. But even if I had employees now, I would still be like, did you check that? Like I would double check just to make sure they got it all done. Just like, did you get all that done today? I don't, I don't know. This is just weird that everything's like incident over. So on or around November 28th at 2 p.m. So there was two other Idaho State detectives that interviewed someone in their apartment, and it was a guy. During the interview, they had a calm demeanor. I think this might be Jeremy. I don't know yet. But it says redacted appears to be that is like something in foot and weighs around redacted pounds. So that person advised on the day of November 12th, he was home most of the day. Yeah, this is him, I think, and took his dog out a few times to use the bathroom. The night of the 12th, he was home alone with his dog and advised he went to bed around 11:30 p.m. He advised that he doesn't go out to the bars often unless he's invited by friends. He advised that on Sunday morning, the 13th, he woke up at 8 or 9 a.m. He advised that a shelter in place came into effect around 1 p.m. That he advised that he walked his dog down the road past the victim's home, which is where his dog uses the bathroom. Oh, okay. Redacted advised that he walked past the homicide house and didn't notice anything off about the home, and he believed that the door was closed. I wish somebody would make up their mind about that door. When I read that earlier, I was like, what? Because I have two articles pinned at the top that I've had pinned on my on my computer since the beginning of this case that says a neighbor was walking their dog and they saw that the door was open. So I don't know. But if this is DNA, Jeremy, I'm going to go with him. Because I mean, he seemed like he even though he was kind of a little weird, he seemed like he knew what he was talking about. Like he was all right. But it says that he advised that he walked past the homicide house, didn't notice anything. And then between 4 and 6 p.m., he left to go do laundry. He advised that his first contact with law enforcement was around an hour after the shelter in place went into effect. He advised that after doing laundry, he stayed home for the rest of the evening. And he advised that he is I'm going to say alum at the U of I. Redacted advised he knew that people on social media on the internet were accusing him of the crime. Redacted advised that he would be willing to provide a DNA sample to clear his name. I'm pretty sure this is Jeremy. He also advised that he didn't know any of the victims. On 12/5/2022, I downloaded the recording and copied it to a CD. So, okay, so this one is the same date, I believe. No, this is the day after. So November 29th, they forwarded an email tip regarding employees who are potentially working the night of November 12th, 2022. I don't know what the redacted is. I was in contact with the following, and there's a bunch of people. Instead of speaking with redacted, I spoke with these other people who advised that redacted is his fiance, and he does. Oh, I think this is DoorDash. Yeah, and I think that's what it is and does DoorDash under her account name. But there's a couple DoorDashes on here, so I don't know who's who. All parties involved advise they do not have a dash camera on their vehicles. All further advise that none were in the area at or around the time of the incident. Further, all advised that they had not observed anything suspicious that stood out to them. This information was relayed to Detective Schwepp, and this incident was closed on my end. Okay, so then another one on the 30th at around 10:05 a.m. that he spoke with redacted to inquire if any of the redacted had dash cameras. They told me that there aren't any dash cameras on the vehicles. They further advised that due to short staffing, the area where the homicides took place and the neighborhood around that area hadn't had something for around 3 months. This information was passed on to Detective Roberts, and this incident was closed. So I think so I was wondering how they were like putting the victims' names like on the summary narrative. And I'm pretty sure that they're putting them in the order of like people that knew them. Like this one will be about like people that knew Xana. But it does have all of the victims' names. I think that's how they're doing it. We're just going to keep going down. These are all the witnesses. So we've got witnesses one, and then this is a father, a boyfriend, acquaintance. It's like a group of people. We have witness 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So they conducted a recording. So they were attending the University of Idaho and was living in Moscow. She was the something of her sorority. She was classmates with Xana Kernodle. She was not close to Xana, but knew her primarily through her ex-boyfriend. Gives the name. That's a long name. Last year, while she was dating, redacted, she would visit Kernodle's old apartment on a weekly basis. She still saw Kernodle around campus and town, but she did not hang out with her like she previously did. She did not go to the current apartment, 1122 King Road, because redacted was there on a regular basis. So maybe the ex-boyfriend. She added, redacted was a member of the fraternity. She described seeing Ethan J. Chapin at the old apartment when she was there with, I think it's the ex, last year. She did not believe Kernodle and Chapin were officially dating at the time. She did not know any person Kernodle was dating last year. She did know one of Redacted's friends and fraternity brothers had a crush on Kernodle, and she gives the individual's name. And this is not their date of birth, 2021. That's what I mean when I say there was a lot of like graphical errors. You just got to just pretend like you don't see them, I guess. She was not aware of anyone stalking or having issues with Kernodle. She was not close to Ethan Chapin. She knew him from last year while she would visit at the old apartment with, I'm assuming that's her ex. She primarily saw Chapin at, I'm going to say that's Sigma Chi parties. She did not know Madison Mogan or Kayla Gonzalez very well. She described going to Mogan's house one time last year. She reiterated she didn't go to the new apartment because her ex would frequently go there frequently. She knew Redacted through her roommate who played Redacted with Redacted. She saw her at parties but did not have a relationship with her. It says, Redacted expressed concerns because she had seen something at parties. She did not know this person personally. She did know her sorority sister. She put her name. She described Redacted and Redacted being close friends. Okay. She recalled seeing Kernodle's old apartment last year because a friend she was close with lived next door. She described Redacted and Kernodle having a close friendship. She stated that she was no longer at the university because she graduated last year. However, she could have been sent a text about the night of the homicide. The text was a screenshot describing two of the other roommates locking their doors because they heard someone rummaging around. She detailed the day of November 12th, 2022. The University of Idaho football team was having senior night. This was a big game and many people attended. There were many students pre-gaming before the game. She was not certain, but she assumed all the victims attended the game. At approximately 10:45 p.m., she went to the, I think that's the Chi. It's supposed to be CAI or KAI, but fraternity party. At approximately 11 to 11:30 p.m., she briefly observed Kernodle and Chapin for about 10-15 minutes. She observed Kernodle and Chapin on the upper floor of the lodge. She described them on the upper floor looking down, observing the party. She recalled hearing a couple songs play when she lost track of Kernodle and Chapin. Okay. The Chi party ended at 1 a.m. After the party, she went to a party at the Redacted. She was at the party until approximately 4 a.m. She described the Redacted as being on the same road as Kernodle's apartment. When she left the apartment, she was walking and ran into one of her good friends. She says who it is. She believed that they had been at Kernodle's apartment earlier that evening. Her interaction occurred with this person when she was walking down from the apartments. That person was talking to a group of people. She believed that they had stayed right there, redacted when she left. She had seen what she described as Snapchat videos redacted took at Kernodle's apartment earlier that evening. She provided the phone number, was going to provide a ride back to Boise when she got home. Okay. She added Kernodle was very close to the, I don't know. She believed we should talk to her ex-boyfriend. I think she means like her ex-boyfriend, like the girl talking. She doesn't mean like Kernodle's ex-boyfriend. I think she's meaning like talk to my ex-boyfriend. He was there more than me. You know what I mean? Like, she frequented Kernodle's apartment regularly. She did not know if he was at the apartment at the night of the homicide, or he did. I'm sorry. He frequented Kernodle's apartment regularly. She did not know if he was there the night of the homicides. She provided his phone number. She was not aware of any strange people who may be around campus. Most of the parties are policed by sober bros who are fraternity members who remain sober. And I love that. Have some people that are sober that are going to tell you to stop drinking, right? Don't do anything before you do anything stupid. Maybe they'll be there to help you. She described a social media app called Yik Yak, which I did download. I'm going to go through it on another live because it was like right before this live. And I was like, what the hell am I signed up for now? But it says, which is used to post a variety of information. The posts are anonymous and can be seen by everyone on the app in a 5-mile radius. Parties are sometimes posted, but she did not know if anything was posted about 1122 King Road the night of the homicides. I keep saying King Street. Well, thank you. Weren't you already a member, Cherie? Or did you upgrade? Well, either way, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hey, Lenora. Hey, Willows. Oh, Willows, I'm praying for you. Oh, I know that's like, I just went with that with my cat was down for a full 24 and I was like, they become your children. I think cats are worse than dogs too, when being needy. So hopefully your kitty bounces back. So it says here, so everybody can see in a 5-mile radius. And we know that Brian Koberger had that Yik Yak app too. So that means that he was able, I'm not saying he did, but he could have like went on that app and he would be able to see, like he wouldn't have to click on it necessarily, like just to look, right? I mean, he would be able to see that. So it says parties are sometimes posted, but she did not know if anything was posted about 1122 King Road the night of the homicide. They keep calling it King Street. I'm just putting it as King Road. It is King Road. She stated many of the students use Snapchat and have an active Snap Maps. However, she did not see Kernodle or Chapin on Snap Maps from that night. She described the apartments, and it's redacted out in Moscow. The apartment was nicknamed. She believed that many people who lived at the apartment were close to Kernodle. She believed the FBI had contacted individuals at the apartment already. Then the interview ended. Okay, so it says on December 5th, Detective Tolson contacted someone and they told Detective Tolson he was not at the King Street apartments the night of the homicides. I contacted Redacted to clarify if she knew for certain. So this girl that he just interviewed was at Kernodle's the day of the homicide. She told me she was mistaken. Well, why couldn't she call back and say that? Redacted had been at Redacted apartment, which was in the same area. Okay, well, I mean, that sucks. I would be so mad if I was him. Oh, I appreciate it, Shree. Thank you. And you're welcome, Willows. I know how cats become your babies. My cat was laying in a circle, didn't even look at me, wouldn't even meow at me. I'll just show you a picture of him. He's literally curled up in this bed as tight as he could get because it's a small bed and he's a big old cat. Okay. So the next one is Okay, it has the victim's name again. So this one's for Kaylee, victim 1, victim 2, Maddie Mogan, and then Xana Kernodle, and then Ethan Chapin. Witness 5, 6. Okay. They have cars on here. I don't know why. Like they have vehicles. All victim. Oh, the Land Rover. Okay, so they have their vehicles on here. The Chevrolet Cruze. The Honda Civic for Xana. Okay. And then the Jeep. And then the Ford. Okay. So on November 13th, 2022, at about 12:22 p.m., MPD requested ISP District 2 investigations to assist with the multiple homicides at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Latah County, Idaho. At about 12:34 p.m., ISP Sergeant Darren Gilbertson advised me of the request. Okay, let's see what they got to say here. At about 2:41 p.m., I arrived on the scene. Already on scene were MPD Captain Roger Lanier, MPD Sergeant Dustin Blaker, Detective Payne, and multiple other MPD officers providing scene security. Detective Blaker provided me with the following verbal briefing. At about noon, MPD was dispatched to an unconscious person inside the residence. When they arrived, 2 household occupants identified as Dylan Mortensen, that's what I'm going to assume, and Bethany Funk, along with 2 other females, and 1 male were outside the residence. The male was identified as Hunter Chapin, or no, not Hunter Chapin, sorry, Hunter Johnson. Stated when he had entered the house, he grabbed a knife from the kitchen and cleared the first and second floors. And then he placed the knife on the table inside the living room. When officers entered the house, they found 2 deceased residents, Kernodle and Chapin, inside a bedroom on the second floor. The officers also found 2 more deceased residents, Gonzalez and Mogan, in a bedroom on the 3rd floor. All of the victims appeared to have multiple stab wounds. The sliding glass door located in the kitchen, 2nd floor rear of the house, was open, and there was a set of footprints in the melting snow leading into and away from the residence. So for everybody that says there was nothing to see out, nothing to see here, apparently there was. There was 1 shoe print near the western edge of the property leading west into a neighbor's yard in front of the residence north. That's the front door, where 5 vehicles belonging to the deceased residents. Sometime in the early morning hours, redacted, was awoken and opened her door and heard the male say, "It's okay, Kaylee, I'm here for you," and crying. She then shut her door. A short while later, she opened her door again and saw someone approximately 5'10" tall, dressed in all black with a ski mask standing in the kitchen. She made eye contact with the person and could see they were Caucasian through the cutouts for the eyes. She shut her door again and texted redacted, whose bedroom is on the 1st floor, and told her to join her in her bedroom. Redacted ran downstairs to Bethany's room where they fell asleep. At about 5 p.m., after a search warrant was signed, Sergeant Blaker, Detective Payne, Latah County Prosecuting Attorney Bill Thompson, LCPA Ashley Jennings, and I entered the scene and conducted a walkthrough. As we entered the front, north-facing first floor door, I observed the following. Okay. As you enter the residence from the front door, there is a bathroom in front of you. There is a bedroom to the right. It appears to be unlived in. To the left was a staircase to the 2nd floor and a small hallway. As you walk east down the hallway, a small mechanical room was to the right. The hallway ended in a bedroom. Redacted's bedroom, I think this might be Bethany's, but had clothing on the floor and the bed was disheveled. Her dresser against the north wall had a broken door and a drawer was partially open. There didn't appear to be any blood inside the room. As you go up the stairs to the 2nd floor, you enter a small living room area. There was a folding table set up on the west wall of the area, partially blocking the entry to the west hallway. The table had multiple red solo cups on it in game formation, beer pong, along with a small steak knife. There were multiple areas of red liquid on the table that appeared to be blood. As I walked west from the living room, there was a half wall to my right. I could see multiple drops and runs of red liquid along the entire half wall. Okay, I got to read that again. Okay, so there were multiple areas of red liquid on the table that appeared to be blood. As I walked west from the living room, there was a half wall to my right. I could see multiple drops and runs of red liquid along the entire half wall. Across the half wall to the north, I saw more red stains on the floor above the first and second floor staircase. The stains and liquid were consistent with cast off and appeared to be blood. Continuing west down the hallway, there was a bathroom to the left with the hallway ending in a bedroom. On the north wall of the hallway near the bedroom door, there appeared to be red colored transfer mark at approximately my shoulder height. So it says C, from the living room looking into the west bedroom, I could see a female kernodle lying near the center of the room. Her legs and arms appeared to be covered in blood. As I entered the bedroom, I saw multiple drops of red liquid near the entrance and multiple red colored drips on the door above and below the doorknob. A male Chapin was lying in the bed, partially covered by a blanket and comforter. His neck and chest were heavily covered in a red liquid. Multiple walls appeared to have red colored cast off, and there were multiple areas on the floor with pools of red colored liquid. All the red colored liquid appeared to be blood. Kernodle appeared to have multiple cuts to her hands, arms, and face. Chapin appeared to have a deep cut to the outer portion of his right knee and neck area. The outer portion of his right knee? On a desk against the north wall of the bedroom was Kernodle's University of Idaho identification, along with a rolled up $2 bill and a redacted consistent with a redacted. Exiting the bedroom and walking east, there wasn't anything visible of interest in the bathroom. Outside the bathroom door, there appeared to be small drops of red liquid near the baseboard, a small smear of red colored liquid on the south wall, and a hair stuck to the wall. South out of the living room was a small step down in a bedroom immediately to the left. That's Dylan's room. South was a staircase to the third floor and a small storage area under the stairs. To the right was the kitchen. Okay, so I think this is Dylan's, but Dylan's room was messy with multiple items of clothing on the floor and a notebook in disarray on the floor near her desk along the north wall. Her bed was unmade and her U of I identification was on the floor near the south wall under her makeup desk. There was no apparent blood inside her room. So it sounds to me like they were going in there checking for those IDs. I don't know why they'd be checking for them so dang early, but like they had to look for hers. Like, why did they? I guess maybe I don't know. They don't need her ID. They don't need Dylan's. It's not like to ID her, but it was on the floor near the south wall under her makeup desk. Like, I don't know. The storage closet was tidy with nothing of interest noted. The kitchen counters were cluttered with dirty dishes, orange containers, and a fast food bag from Jack in the Box labeled Xana near the sink. The sliding glass door was just over halfway open. On the outside of the window on the south wall were 2 handprints and a possible face print on the glass. There were also red-colored drips on the north side cabinets near the sink and a red-colored liquid drop on the floor. So that was blood on the cabinets. Wow. I thought it was, but we didn't know. Okay, so yeah, wow. The red-colored marks appeared to possibly be blood. As I walked south upstairs, they switched back to the north. On the center wall banister were red-colored liquid smears. They appeared to be blood smears. At the top of the stairs was a small hallway. Directly to the left was a bedroom, Gonzalez's. The bedroom was clean with the bed unmade and a black-colored coat laying on the ground next to the bed on the left side. Might have probably maybe the coat that Maddie was wearing. When looking from the foot of the bed, partially behind the door on the north wall was a wire dog kennel. There didn't appear to be any blood inside the room. On the right side of the hallway, it ended with a bathroom. To the south of the bathroom was a small bedroom, Mogan's. There didn't appear to be anything of interest in the bathroom. As I entered the bedroom, there was a bed directly to the left, the east. On the bed were Gonzalez and Mogan. They were covered by a beige-colored comforter with a large pool of red liquid near the center of the comforter. Multiple walls and the ceiling had multiple areas of red-colored cast-off. Mogan had multiple visible cuts on her face. Why do people do that? I'm like, let's see what it says. Because I'm wondering why, like, he cut her face like that, and then he cut Kaylee's face like that, you know? So I put in, why do killers cut women in their face? Depersonalization. The face is often considered a core representation of a person's identity. Expression of rage or hostility. Overkill. Sadistic gratification. Symbolic significance. And attempt to hinder identification. Well, that's not going to work. That wouldn't have worked. We might have to go into those more deeply, like on another live, because that's crazy. Okay, so it's going to get a little more graphic. So we were at, okay, multiple walls in the ceiling had cast off. Mogan had multiple visible cuts to her face. Gonzalez had severe trauma to her face and visible cuts with a large amount of dried red colored liquid on her face. There appeared to be aspirated blood coming from her mouth. That's not a quick way to die, I feel like. Near Mogan's left hip was a tan leather knife sheath partially covered by the comforter. That tan comforter might have helped that. You know what I mean? Maybe it blended in more. On the door edge, I saw multiple red color transfer smears. The upper mark was at approximately my shoulder height. All the red colored liquids in the room were consistent with blood. At about 5:24 p.m., I assigned ISP Detective Jake Schweck to start a pre-evidence processed video. I directed ISP Detective Gideon Roberts to start scene overview photographs. I directed ISP Detective Hugh Powell to complete a scene sketch. After the vehicles were videoed and photographed, I directed ISP Sergeant Darren Gilbertson to search them. The vehicles were a blue-colored Honda Civic, Arizona registration, a silver-colored Range Rover, Washington, temporary permit, a white-colored Chevrolet Cruze, Idaho registration, a red-colored Jeep Wrangler, Washington registration, and a black-colored Ford Explorer, Washington registration. The interiors were photographed with nothing seized as evidence. At about 6:30 p.m., I started 3D scans of Kernodle and Mogan's room. I would love to see those 3D scans. At about 7:05, just because like it doesn't put it in like it's not as graphic. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really care to see the bodies, but I would love to see like just the scan of the house. I think that would be very interesting. To see like where everything just was. So they start doing that. Where are we at? Okay. So then at about 7:05, Detective Powell, Detective Schweck, and I started marking the evidence with numbered placards while Detective Roberts photographed the exhibits. The following evidence was recorded and or collected. Exhibit 1. Shoe print casing located west of residence near fence line. Latent print collected from exterior of south kitchen window. Latent print collected from exterior of south kitchen window. Latent print collected from exterior of south kitchen window. Latent print collected from exterior of kitchen sliding door. Latent print collected from front door exterior lock. Exhibit 7 was Kernodle located on floor of floor 2, west bedroom. Then we have her gray colored iPhone located on floor next to Kernodle's left side. Pink colored laptop located on chair of floor 2, west bedroom. Then they have exhibit 10, Chapin located on bed of floor 2, west bedroom. Pink colored iPhone located on bed of floor 2, west bedroom. That might be her phone then. Maybe I switched them. And then it says pink colored laptop located on desk of floor 3. Black colored iPhone located on nightstand of floor 3. K-bar sheath located on bed of floor 3, east bedroom. Mogan located on bed of floor 3, east bedroom. Gonzalez located on bed of floor 3, east bedroom. White colored blanket located on foot of bed of floor 3, east bedroom. Tan colored comforter located on bed of floor 3, east bedroom. At about 8:15 p.m., Short's Funeral Home, along with Latah County Coroner Kathy Mabbitt and Assistant LCC Debbie Carscallen, arrived on the scene to remove the bodies. Before moving the bodies, Sergeant Gilbertson and I put paper bags over all 4 victims' hands along with Kernodle's left foot for the preservation of evidence during the autopsies. Because remember, her foot only had 1 sock on it. Along with Kaylee's, but I think because Kaylee's might have been under a comforter, they didn't, I don't know, maybe do the same with her. So then exhibit 19, a blue colored iPhone located under the head of Gonzalez. Then they have a jewel vape pen located under Gonzalez on bed. Latent print collected from doorknob of floor 2, west bedroom. The steak knife located on the folding table in living room. Blood swab collected from north wall above floor 1 and 2 staircase. Blood swab collected from north wall about floor 1 and 2 staircase. Blood swab collected from south side half wall of floor 2. These are all going to be the same. So swab, I'm just going to say swab because, the other word's not good for YouTube. So whenever I say swab, we mean blood swabs. So it says there's a swab collected from the north wall of hallway near west bedroom entrance, collected from floor 2, west bedroom, light switch, collected from south wall above bed of floor 2, west bedroom, swab collected from the west wall between bed and nightstand of floor 2, west bedroom, swab collected from nightstand near west wall of floor 2, west bedroom, swab collected from floor under Kernodle, swab collected from the west wall near mirror of floor 2, west bedroom. They have another swab collected from the left leg of desk along north wall of floor 2, west bedroom. And then another one collected from the exterior of the door of floor 2, west bedroom, collected from the floor near the open door of floor 2, west bedroom, collected from south wall of hallway of floor 2, collected from the folding table in living room, collected from the kitchen floor near north side cabinets, collected from banister of floor 2 and 3 stairwell, collected from the exterior of doors of floor 3, collected from the north wall above bed of floor 3, collected from the east wall above bed of floor 3, collected from the east wall between bed and nightstand of floor 3, collected from south wall, closet entrance of floor 3, east bedroom. Another swab collected from the floor near foot of bed of floor 3. A swab collected from the edge of floor of the door of floor 3. And then we have one more, it looks like swab collected from exterior of upper door casing of floor 3, bathroom. Was on the outside of the door. Wonder if that door was closed and he walked in there. I don't know. So then, where were we? Oh, disposable camera collected from end table in living room. Blue colored laptop located on floor near desk of floor 2 east bedroom. Pink colored laptop located in rolling stand along west wall of floor 3 west bedroom. Silver color laptop located on upper shelf and closet of floor 3 west bedroom. Blue colored latex gloves located in trash can of floor 2 west or floor 2 bedroom. Gray color laptop located on desk of floor 1 west bedroom. And then a few more. Black colored iPad located on rolling stand of floor 1. At about 11:44 p.m., I directed Detective Roberts and Detective Schweck to complete post-search photographs and videos. On November 14th, 2022, at about 12:10 a.m., all the evidence collected was turned over to Detective Payne. The windows and the doors to the residence were sealed by MPD. At about 12:18 a.m., ISP personnel left the scene. MPD remained on the scene outside the residence. And then he entered all that into evidence, gave copies to MPD. Okay, so this is to return to the scene for further processing and evidence collection. Maddie Mogan, Xana, Ethan. It doesn't have Kaylee on there, does it? No, there it does on the top. Okay. So, man, they collected some stuff on November 14th, 2022 at about 11:24 a.m. ISP D2 investigation personnel returned to the house in Moscow, Latah County for further processing. At about 11:25 a.m., I assigned ISP detective Jake Schweck to start a pre-evidence processed video. I would like to have those, not the bodies, just the rest of the stuff. I'm even though I know the house needed to come down and I don't regret, like, that was I was on board with that. Like, it's just it is kind of weird, like, not being able to ever go back in there. So good thing they did all of these scans and these pictures and these videos and all the things. Because, that makes a ton of difference. A lot of people are visual people. So it says that at 11:25, they started the pre-evidence process video. And then at 11:28, 3 of them started marking the evidence with numbered placards while Detective Roberts photographed the exhibits. The following evidence was recorded and collected. Rolled $2 bills located on desk along north wall of floor 2 west bedroom. Exhibit 58, blue colored powder located on desk along north wall of floor 2 west bedroom. A blood swab collected from west wall of living room. A blood swab collected from upper west wall of floor 3 west bedroom. Wait, wasn't the west? Hold on. Wasn't the west bedroom Kaylee's? Yeah. I think, no, wait, floor 2. Oh, let me see. Floor 3 west. But okay, it is west bedroom. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I was like, wait a minute. That would be a weird spot to have, DNA or blood. So at about 2:12 p.m., the windows and doors that were open during processing were resealed. At about 2:16 p.m., I directed Detective Schweck, I'm probably saying that wrong, to complete a post-search video. At about 2:18 a.m., the front door was resealed. Wow, they were in there for 12 hours. And ISB personnel left the scene. MPD remained. Okay. I think we read that part already, maybe. And then we have this here, assisting with the homicides. Okay, so that's when they returned for further processing. Okay. So then they come back November 17th and 18th. ISP forensic scientist, Jenny Ayers. FS Carrie Hogan, FS, I don't know what that stands for, Tara Martinez, and FS Wyatt Berry respond to the King Road, house for the processing. So this is what they got. And remember, they did say that they had just really like, which I, to each its own, what people think is clean, but they did say that they really cleaned the house, like the apartment, like the weekend before, because it was parents' weekend. Now that first level floor tells me a little something differently, ladies and gentlemen, but who am I to judge? That floor was like black, so I'm judging a little, but they're college kids, so they didn't care. As long as everything was picked up for parents, they were good. So they have potential hair collected from north wall of floor 2 hallway, potential hair collected from south wall of floor 2 hallway, cigarette butt collected from yard, south side of house behind sofa, note collected from parking lot on north side of house, east of Ford SUV. Okay, potential hair collected from the south side of hallway. That's supposed to be hallway floor 2. I don't even know what he was spelling there. Potential hair collected from floor 2 west bedroom. DNA swab collected from exterior of south kitchen window. DNA swab collected from exterior of south kitchen window. DNA swab collected from exterior of south kitchen window. There's a lot of those. Router and modem located in alcove north wall of living room. Blood swabs referred to forensic report for locations. Latent lift cards collected from exterior of south kitchen window. After ISPFS processed the residence, all items collected were turned over to me. They resealed windows and doors that were open during processing and left the scene. I resealed the front door and transported the evidence to the ISP District 2 office and placed them into a secure temporary evidence locker. Okay. They gave copies to Moscow. Okay. This one was assigned as the lead crime scene investigator. On November 19th and 20th, ISP personnel returned to the scene for further processing and evidence collection. Okay. We've got Kaylee, Maddie, Zan, and then Ethan. Okay. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. If you guys don't mind, will you take a second and just, if you appreciate the content, just hit the like button for your girl. It does help. And if you want to become a member, I always have the link pinned at the top. So we'd love to have you. Thank you guys all for being here. So, okay, that is, so we don't need, okay, so on November 20th, because on the 19th, he really didn't do much. At about 8:16 a.m., early morning, I returned to the King Road house at about 8:58 a.m. ISP Detective Hugh Powell and ISP Trooper Kristen Noah arrived at the scene to assist. I marked the evidence with numbered placards while Detective Powell and I photographed the exhibits. The following evidence was recorded and or collected. So they took the power cord located on the floor next to east wall of floor 1 west bedroom. Another power cord located on upper shelf of closet of floor 3 west bedroom. Black colored iPhone located in drawer and closet of floor 3 west bedroom. SD card located inside of a GoPro in a drawer and closet of floor 3 west bedroom. Handwritten note located inside clear plastic tote of upper shelf and closet of floor 2 east bedroom. Diary located on desk of floor 2. iPhone located in a glove box of the blue colored Honda Civic. Detective Powell and Trooper Noah left the scene. At about 12:05 p.m., I resealed the front door and left. Okay. So this is just going to be on November 23rd. He's going back for more evidence. So he got, this time, Van's portable speaker located on top shelf of rolling rack along north wall of floor 2 west bedroom. Blue colored UE portable speaker located on stool in kitchen. Black colored JBL portable speaker located on top shelf of rolling rack along west wall of floor 3 west bedroom. At about 7:30 a.m., I resealed the front door and left the scene, transported the items. Just went back in there to get their Bluetooths, I guess. Probably to see if anybody connected to them. And then the next one is going to be witnesses, it looks like. 19, 21, 22, 21, 4 of them. So they interviewed them. So the interview began with redacted and redacted, himself discussing the online and social media harassment their family has been dealing with since Sunday. Sorry. They informed me their family, friends, and even her medical practice is now being pulled into online rumors. I informed this person I wanted to focus on the days prior to the homicide. This person described the days prior as the usual. He went out to the bars on Thursday night for early weekend, then stayed home Friday to recover from a hangover and complete some school assignments. He then went out and drank on Saturday and stayed home to recover and watch football on Sunday. It was a typical weekend, and he can't remember that weekend being any different. I asked Redacted if he knew about the sorority formal on Friday. He said maybe, but he really does not pay attention to such activities. He stated there is always something happening on campus, and he does not follow all the activities. So he asked if he was aware there was a party at the house where the homicide occurred on Friday night. He said he was unaware of a party on Friday, but thought there was a party at the house on game day, Saturday. However, he was not sure there was a party at the house because there were 6 to 7 houses on King Street on that Saturday having parties. Redacted only went to the parties at the Redacted building on game day, and he rarely attended such parties because many times there are freshmen and sophomores at such parties, and he does not like partying with the younger underclassmen. He usually stayed at his own apartment, attended functions at his fraternity, something Redacted, or went to the bars. Therefore, he does not pay a lot of attention to parties off campus. I asked him to walk me through his entire day on Saturday, November 12th. He informed us it was difficult since he was drinking all day that day. He did not attend the game, but did go to the party at the whatever. It's Redacted. He went back to his apartment, then later out to the bars. He claimed he did not remember a lot of specifics, but there were people everywhere. He knew some of the people, many he did not know. He explained for the first 3 years of college, he had a girlfriend and was in a relationship. He did not really party and met a lot of people during that time. He spent most of his time working on the relationship. As a result, he does not know the number of people other seniors do, and he does not talk to the individuals he does not know. He believed since he does not know a lot of people and does not talk to a lot of people, he has a suspect reputation. He preferred to hang out with his friends. If he does not know someone, he does not talk to them. I then asked him if he was with Redacted on Saturday. He said yes and described Redacted as his good friend. Redacted could not recall when he met up with Redacted that day, but he believed they came to his apartment and they went to the party at the mystery party that we can't know about. Redacted then looked at his phone and found a text message string between he and Redacted. Same text message string, FBI agent O'Neill photographed. So the first text was sent by Redacted on Saturday at 4:16 and simply said, yo, replied, what's up? And Redacted asked if Redacted was still at the party, informed he was, and he was going to get some food. So he was going to go back to his apartment, get some ibuprofen for his back. And he was going to grab a couple of beers if there was any left. Okay. So it says, after reviewing the text string, I informed him it appeared Redacted had been at the party prior to the start of the text string. He said he believed he went to the party around 1 to 2, but he could not recall the exact time. He did not recall seeing Maddie Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez and all the residents of 1122 King Road going outside and taking the photograph everyone sees now. Redacted knew Maddie the best. He had known her since the freshman year because they had classes together and she would hang out with Redacted's fraternity house. This might be Hoodie Guy. Redacted said while attending the party he made several trips to his apartment to stretch and deal with his sore back. Man, you were that young with a sore back? Redacted claimed after the text string with Redacted began, he did not return to the party at the redacted. I asked him if he remembered going to the something house with redacted, replied not really. He then said that is why he agreed to go to the other bar with Kaylee and Maddie when they asked. He does the same thing every weekend and it's hard to remember. I confronted redacted with the information we had gathered. Reference he and redacted had been picked up by a fraternity DD designated driver, driven to get food and beer, then dropped off at the fraternity house. He responded that would not be out of the normal, but did not specifically recall. Sergeant Hopkins asked about purchasing a 30-pack of beer and splitting the beers between himself and these people are redacted. He did not recall if they purchased a 30-pack on Saturday, but it was normal for him and this person to purchase beer and split it up between the two of them. He could not remember if they did it that Saturday because they were drinking all day. Sergeant Hopkins asked what type of beer they typically purchased, and he informed us that it was usually Keystone, Natural Ice, or any cheap lager beer. Oh my gosh. They still make Natty Ice? That's a genuine question. They still make that stuff about killed me. When I shouldn't have been drinking. I was too young to be drinking. Let's just say that. But I was 20. I was close enough. And me and my friend got it's like a 30-pack of that for like $10. You could get Natty Ice all day long. But I didn't know they still made it. And I knew they made like Natty Light and everything. I didn't know they made Natty Ice. Ooh. So I instructed him to refer to the text string between himself and redacted and look at some of the communications on Monday. Specifically, he was asking redacted if he wanted the bag back. He read the text string and then remembered he did borrow a bag from him that Saturday. He and redacted had filled it with approximately 15 beers. He believed he went to his apartment because the bag was at his apartment and he had returned the bag to this person. I asked him how he got from his apartment to the corner club. He responded probably the DD. He did not recall the clothing he was wearing. Okay. He could not remember anything that was out of the normal that weekend. He had said goodbye to Maddie and thought he would see her in class after they got picked up at the food truck. He described Redact as laid back and quiet. If people don't know him well, they would view him as an outsider. He is very quiet and will not open up unless he knows you. He said he is a great guy and knows he would not have done this shit for sure. They have been friends since the 7th grade. They attended, I'm assuming, school together. And he has always had redacted back and redacted described as a ride or die buddy. He informed us that Maddie cared about redacted because they used to be close. So it says that him and redacted and Maddie had an on-again, off-again relationship in the past. It worked for redacted because redacted did not want a girlfriend. Okay. There's so many redactions. Xana Coronado had been in past relationships with redacted and another guy, redacted. Did not know, but she appeared happy with Ethan Chapin. Redacted did not know Kaylee and didn't know she used to date looks like it's in parentheses. Known to be redacted. Okay. He may recognize these people if he saw them in a photo. Like the other people in the house. It says that they didn't know the number of times they had been inside the King Road residence, especially since he had been banned from the corner club for a while. Redacted did not know what Redacted was doing while Redacted continued to frequent the bar. Okay. He expanded on why he was banned at the corner club. He indicated there was a 2-strike system at the bar, and if you have 2 strikes, you are banned by the bar for a period of time. He admitted it was his fault for being banned. They both should have only 1 strike. He admitted he and Redacted are hotheads and will hold their ground. They said they had already had 1 strike at the corner club for arguing with the bartender. When Redacted got drunk at the bar and began arguing with the boyfriend of a girl he liked, the argument escalated and Redacted pushed the boyfriend. The bartenders broke up the argument and blamed Redacted. As a result, he received his 2nd strike and was banned from the corner club until February. Ooh, that's a long ban. Has anybody ever been kicked out of a bar? Come on, let me know if you have. Just let me know if you have. Let me know if you've been kicked out of a bar before, because I wonder how long, like how long's what do you have to do to get kicked out first off? And I mean, other than fight, right? Or steal something, I guess, at the bar. But like, I wonder how long the ban would be, especially if you live in a small town like that. So it says that he admitted that they have gotten fights with other individuals. He explained they don't look to hurt people, but they are generally drunken arguments, and most of the time they involve individuals from other fraternities. He asked if he noticed any strange alumni or strangers while attending the parties. Did not recall seeing anyone out of place when he was at the party or at the corner club. Okay. He said after the girls were picked up from the food truck, he did not want to wait for a ride and did not even know if his DD was even still accepting calls, so he walked home. He informed us it was no big deal to walk home. When they were at the food truck, he believed he and the girls were going to another bar, but they were drunk and got a ride home, he presumed. Due to the homicides and the rumor circulating around campus that classes could go online, he made the decision to return to Boise, not Africa. On his way out of town, he stopped and saw Redacted, returned the bag he had taken to transport the beer on Saturday, and an HDMI cable he had borrowed to watch football. He was active in the fraternity. He lived at the fraternity house, paid rent, and his dues. So he's been a member there since his freshman year. He only pays his dues, which gives him access to the fraternity and one meal a week. He usually eats at the fraternity house on Mondays because the house chapter meetings are conducted every Monday. Okay, so just talking about other fraternity houses. Sometimes other individuals will rent a room at the house. At one time, a football player was living there, and even a professor stayed there for a while. And then he's asking about if there's any knowledge of Kaylee having a relationship with someone. He stated he had heard rumors, but thought they were weird because the rumors he heard was Kaylee was involved with a redacted. And he understood Kaylee was redacted, believed to be an outlandish rumor, and it would be more believable if it was why we redacting all that. He informed us again he did not really know Kaylee and did not know if she had a job. His only connection to Kaylee was due to knowing Maddie. He did not even initially know Kaylee was the girl with Maddie at the corner club on Saturday night. It was a chance encounter seeing Maddie at the bar, and he had been talking with only Maddie. It was Maddie that invited him to go with them to John's Alley to get some food, but they decided to get food at the food truck. Since returning to Boise, he has been hanging at home playing Xbox. He has gone out to bars with Redacted a couple times, but has been staying at his house most of the time. He did inform Redacted someone had called a tip into the police pretending to be his mother. Oh, I think I remember that. Wasn't there and they were like, yeah, he's in Africa or something. I don't know. It was something about Africa. But I think they did have it was like a fake mom tip. Fake people calling in tips. Man, y'all are nuts. I'd be so scared. I'd be so scared they'd be *67 my number back or whatever it is, and they'd be calling me back and being like, or whatever it was that you can call the number back. So Redacted discussed some of the internet rumors accusing him of the homicides. Everyone continues to ask him what happened that night, and he informs them he has no idea. He has always thought the students who would figure out who committed the homicides before the police because they know the community better than the police. Now that the homicides have not been solved and the students do not know who committed the crime, everyone is scared. So then they asked about the most recent issues resulting in, I guess, I don't know, informed us that there was a video of freshman hazing. So there was a hazing incident. A parent had seen a video of a freshman throwing another freshman's bed out of the fraternity house second floor window. I'm sorry. That's not hazing. That is not hazing. That is not hazing. There was a guy that died, and this was hazing. He died from drinking too much water. They had him drinking too much water. And he I don't know how much he ended up consuming, but he died, and it was really sad. I forget where it was. Maybe one of you guys will remember, but it's crazy. Okay, so let's see. So these both happen. Okay, so they both happened at, looks like, sororities, off-campus functions. The first, okay, yeah. They were picking on a guy at the party, calling him Kermit the Frog. Okay. That's all I saw was the one. So let's see who we have next. Oh, more exhibits. On November 25th, 2022, at about 10:22 a.m., they go back to the house. They mark the evidence with number placards and they photograph. So they took the Amazon Fire Stick collected from the rear of television located on west wall of floor 3 west bedroom. The Kindle located in the bottom shelf of north nightstand on floor 3 west bedroom. Canon portable printer located on top of mini fridge against north wall of floor 3 hallway/landing. Oh. They had a mini fridge in that hallway? Oh, well, we didn't know that. Exhibit 92, Amazon Fire Stick collected from the rear of the television located on the west wall of floor 1 east bedroom. Then they leave the scene at 11:51. At about 1:48, I resealed the front door and left the scene. Why did it? Oh, okay. They left first and then he left. Okay. Transported the items. This might be an interview. Okay. I had canvassed the residence of a person of interest. While canvassing, Detective Powell identified possible blood on the door to redacted residence. Detective Payne authored a search warrant for the residence. The warrant was granted based on the presumptive identification of blood found on the entrance of the residence. At about 7 p.m., Detective Payne, Detective Powell, and I arrived at the residence. I tested the suspected blood with the presumptive hemidant blood test. The test was negative. I processed the door with exterior walkway with luminol and used an alternate light source to check for possible blood or cleanup. Nothing of evidentiary value was found. So their first test came out, like the presumptive test came and back and it was saying blood. So they go over there and they test it with luminol, they spray it down, and then they realize it's not blood. There's a lot of things that can give you a false negative. And you can, think that it's blood and it's not. Okay, so then on November 23rd, they go back to the house. So at 1:37 p.m., I started a pre-evidence processed video and photographs. So I tested multiple red color stains. The presumptive positive test for blood, red color stains in the bathroom sink and near the toilet handle were negative. Red color stains on the shower curtain and the west entry hall wall were positive. I'm trying to see what floor he's on. Okay, let's see. It's not really saying, is it? So then blood swab times 2 collected from the bathroom shower curtain. Blood swab times 2 collected from the south wall of the bathroom below the light switch next to the toilet. Blood swab collected from the south wall of the bathroom above the light switch next to the toilet. Blood swab number 2, or 2 times 2, collected from west wall of entry hallway near the transition of living room. Okay, so that was the second floor bathroom. In the bedroom closet, I found a pair of Vans shoes. I tested the soles of the shoes with hemidant. They were negative. So that there was no blood on the shoes. So then they secured the scene again. Okay. Okay, so this is videotapes. They're doing video photographing, collecting evidence. Property, it looks like. The vehicles, maybe. Guess we'll find out. Okay, on December 1st, 2022 at approximately 11:25 a.m., Idaho State Police detective. Okay, got it regarding a tip. So let's see. On December 1st, they go and they contact this person regarding a lead provided in a Moscow police homicide investigation. Gives the residence. Upon arriving at the residence, this person came to the door. Detective Barrett asked this person that we were, or told them, advised that we were detectives with the Idaho State Police conducting follow-up contacts with persons in the Moscow area pertaining to a homicide investigation. This person was advised that the lead had stemmed from his recent online order. Redacted advised us of the following. He was aware of the homicide investigation, had been following the information that has been released to the news. He had heard on the news that the weapon in question was possibly a K-bar knife and that he was aware that no suspect had been arrested. He had decided to purchase the knife as a home and self-defense weapon, but had not yet received his order. That's a crime. So Detective Barrett asked him if he had any connections with the university or the Greek system at the university. He advised that he and his wife had purchased the residence in June of 2022, and they had purchased the residence from a person who was a financial supporter of the sorority system. No further questions. Bye. That's what he said. Okay. Okay. Did he ever get his knife? Who seriously, who decides to get a K-bar as for home self-defense? Get a gun. You know what I mean? I'm not telling you what to do. That's not advice. Do you know what I mean? But if no. Uh-uh. I'm sorry, but you'd have to let someone get so close to you in order for you to get to them, right? Like just run and hide. I don't know. Or fight with your hands. But woo. He didn't even get his, he wanted his K-bar. He said, I'm calling the police. I like reading through things. They kind of make me laugh. So they interviewed this person regarding a tip. She did not call in a tip. What? During the interview, this person says she did not call a tip in. She has never called. She only knows what redacted tells her. Oh gosh, I don't even want to know what the redaction is. She received the text when it first happened and was concerned for redacted. She learned it was 4 people later that night with her husband. She has been home since the week before Thanksgiving. She went in for an interview with the FBI before Thanksgiving. She was home Saturday, December 3rd, and is currently home. Redacted has been good, and he is a good, very responsible kid. Frat life has been good to Redacted. Okay. It says Redacted knew the victims and was friends with them. Xana was familiar with the frat house. Redacted knew all 3 girls and was familiar with Ethan. As far as she knows, they were all friends. Redacted went to Cabo with his frat brothers. I don't know. Okay, I'm just reading. Should have alibis because he took the fraternity DD. Someone is there to corroborate his whereabouts. The frat was on suspension from events a couple of years ago. The current members have to clean up from the past. A lot of the frat life is over her head. She thinks it's a little disconcerting when someone would call in this tip. Her phone number is, and she gives it. Redacted has a white Redacted. He drives at school. He does not drive it very much. Redacted used a designated driver for the frat. Okay. And then she gives the husband's phone number. Maybe this is the people that have the kid and that like drive him around. I don't know. This is male 22 and then male 34. More witnesses. Okay. Okay, so they interviewed someone about his knowledge of the events surrounding the homicides. He told us the following. On the evening of November 12th, 2022, and the early morning hours of November 13th, he was hanging out at the Corner Club bar with several people, including Kaylee and Maddie. His girlfriend, redacted, was also there. He spent the whole night with her. Everyone was drinking alcohol that night. They were not using any recreational drugs. His friend had been invited to Kaylee's house the night of November 12th, but chose not to go. He got into an argument with someone at the bar, but does not know who it was. He drank out of the person's beer. He apologized and offered to buy the guy another beer. He is not a cocaine dealer. Okay. And so they provided the telephone number. Well, I mean, that escalated quickly, didn't it? So then they request an interview regarding interaction with a fellow law student. During the interview, she told us the following. She is in the redacted program at the U of I. She had a conversation with this person after the homicide had occurred. During her conversation, this person referenced the Moscow homicide and compared it to the mass shooting at Virginia Tech from 2007. Redacted told her the suspect in the Virginia Tech shootings had killed 2 people prior to conducting the shooting on campus. My cousin went there during that time. While talking about the VT shooting, redacted breathing was rapid, heavy, and visible through his clothing, and he had visible sweat on his upper lip. Redacted did not mention anything specific about the homicide in Moscow. It says redacted talked about a murder which took place in 2017 at the Fred Meyer in this Tri-Cities area. Said that the suspect in the murder was at one time his roommate. He tried to get his roommate help and called the police about him prior to the shooting. Oh, okay. So then they interview someone else, and it says, we were talking to him because he was a Marine. He does own K-Bar knives. They are in a safe at his property in the Tri-Cities. They redacted his birthday. He had, and some of his friends went to Rico's in Pullman, Washington. He met a woman there named redacted, gave the phone number, was later identified. He and his friend took a Lyft ride to his apartment in Moscow and arrived at approximately 2:30 a.m. He was very drunk. Redacted was giving him water, stayed with him until the morning of the 13th. So then his roommate answered the door and let him in. And he showed the Lyft receipt so that way he could be like, here's my Lyft receipt. They left and they got to Pullman at 2:10 and arrived in Moscow at 2:28. So then they contacted his roommate regarding the statements. He received a phone call on November 12th to open the door for redacted and let him in. He was drunk and he was with a girl who would not show her face to him. On December 1st, they conducted a follow-up interview over the phone to clarify this time frame of activity. So let's see. I don't know who this is, but during the phone call, they told us the following. He was drinking heavy and fucked up all weekend. The days kind of run together. On the 13th, he went to brunch and then hooked up with redacted, later identified as redacted, for dinner. He came back to his house and stayed the night. He took this person to breakfast in the morning and then dropped her off. What a gentleman. He is out of town in the Tri-City area for the next couple of weeks. He is willing to provide a DNA sample once he gets back into the area. He will help in any way he can to catch the person who did this. And then he gives his phone number. Then they contact someone else. She met redacted the evening of November 12th. They were at redacted and went bar hopping. Redacted was very drunk and could not find his friends. She was giving this person water. They took a Lyft back to the house in Moscow, Idaho. The house stunk like dogs. She stayed there that night. She did not go to brunch on November 13th. She met with redacted for dinner on the 13th. They had dinner and then they stayed the night together. She has not seen redacted since the morning of November 14th when they separated. Okay. This interview wasn't recorded. The next one, it says, he attended the memorial for the victims. He probably looked out of place because he was standing off to the side alone. Is this the guy with the blue coat? He did not attend the memorial with anybody. He works in one of the buildings on campus and is a something student. He did not know any of the victims. As a student, he does not socialize with underclassmen. He worked He went on walks, and was with his girlfriend at his apartment on November 11th through the 13th. He drives a white redacted. He did not want to provide a DNA sample. Oh, well, why not? Just curious. On December 3rd, they interview someone else. During the interview, she told us the following. She has a friend of a friend from out of state who has looked into this case. I don't what? Okay, let's see. She read about this case on websites and believes redacted is involved. Her friend found redacted from the redacted fraternity website and looked at his eyes. She does not know how her friend of a friend picked out this information. Friend of a friend. On December 3rd, I would have been like, cut this interview short. So then this person told us the following. During his interview, he was previously interviewed during Thanksgiving break, November 18th, by the FBI in Boise, Idaho. He was asked about the victims and redacted. Xana Kernodle was his Greek little. A Greek little is not someone you are pursuing, but a friend who becomes part of your Greek family. His big told him to hang out with a few different houses, like the redacted and redacted. They would have events where only their littles were invited. He was something in his house. They are currently in transition period after their election. Maybe he's the president. He is helping the new guy get up to speed. Maybe ex-president. So he knows everyone in the frat pretty well. The house gets a little cliquey based on pledge classes. He had classes with Maddie since his freshman year, and he met Kaylee through Maddie. Maddie had been dating redacted for a little while. Jake, I guess. He and Kaylee started talking about a month prior to the homicide. She would come back with him and stay at the fraternity. They talked on Saturday at the pregame party, where Kaylee apologized to him and wanted to go to the game with him. He had already had plans to go to the sorority formal that evening with redacted. Kaylee texted him that night. He ignored it. Kaylee was pretty drunk on Saturday. She was probably texting others to hang out as well. The texts were through Snapchat. Snapchat deletes after 24 hours. They mainly use Snapchat. They will create large 40-person groups on Snapchat to communicate. His primary way of communicate is through Snapchat. And I understand communicating through Snapchat because you can make some money on Snapchat. Like, you can. If you're like a little influencer and stuff, get those little Snapchat little points. I hear they pay really good over there. So maybe that's why they use them so much. Plus, they delete. He was out of the picture on Saturday because of being at the formal. He usually knows where the guys are going to be and where they're comfortable going. His frat is comfortable going to Xana's house for a party. He is not aware of everybody's relationships with the victims. If there was someone who was not allowed to Xana's house, he would know. Maddie and Jacob say were pretty enamored with each other. He does not know who was hooking up with who within the group of people. Redacted is dating redacted from Boise. Okay. He feels pretty terrible about what happened. On November 13th, between 11 and 12 o'clock, redacted got a hold of him and told him something bad or something had happened at Xana's house and to do a head count. A head count is a sprint through the house for people to count their pledge class and make sure they get a hold of everyone. I was going to say Hunter Johnson, I think, was the only house member they could not get a hold of during the head count because he was with the people who found the bodies. This person is a member of their pledge class. He's a good friend, still lives in the frat house, just finished his role on the house board. So, okay. They were all of them were at the corner club and nobody saw the altercation. The university is still looking into the fight at the formal event. He was gone for the weekend of the formal. Okay. They're waiting to hear about the suspension. It says they were both involved in the incident at the formal and are knocking on death's door. They will probably get cut from the chapter. he says, who was the one that instigated the altercation. The frat house has a general door code to access the house. The door code needs to change more frequently. They also have a couple doors on the first floor. They redact. So they both been in the house for 4 years and are on their way out of the house this spring. He gave verbal consent and signed a written consent from the law enforcement to download the contents of his cell phone. Phone was turned over to the FBI special agent Rob Hilley, who coordinated the download of its contents. At the conclusion of the interview, phone was returned to him on November 13th. On the 13th, they woke up, did the head count, and tried to get a hold of their friends. He checked on everyone. He called Redacted and checked to see if he was okay. He and Redacted went to get food at McDonald's and checked on the guys. While he was getting food with this person, Redacted was doing all right. They talked back and forth about getting a hold of Xana, speculating that maybe she was talking to the police. They tried to stay positive. At 3 or 4, they got an update that 4 people were dead. By Monday, almost everyone had gone home. He was talking to this person that was redacted that day and was into some Snapchats with others about what was going on. Redacted and Redactor are the 2 from the house he hangs out with the most. Maybe Dylan and Bethany, but I don't know. Someone stayed over with him Saturday night. He was in the room. Redacted was in his room with him all night. Okay, so then they went to the party, the formal. There were probably about 60 to 7 people in the apartment attending the party at the Redacted. Once he left the party, he detached from the events for the night. He drives a blue, Redacted drives a silver. They just have all their cars. They're all redacted. All redacted out. So there's another one. So she wants to know, like, what happened on the 13th and how does she know the victims? I was trying to see if it was a she or he. Okay. Oops. This person had previously met with ISP detective Pence Pacina for an interview. She was close friends with Kaylee Gonzalez. She knew Madison Mogan, but not as well as Gonzalez. She explained that the only boyfriend issues pertaining to Mogan she knew about was during a spring break trip to Cabo in 2022. Mogan and Redacted. The Redacted took place in Cabo and possibly after they returned. Mogan redacted her relationship with her boyfriend after this altercation. I don't know. Gonzalez and her last boyfriend broke up because they became more of just friends. She was with Gonzalez the last day and she was happy and completely fine. She did not hear anything about the night before and went to bed around 3:15 a.m. On December 8th, they submitted DVD with, her interview. Age 69. That's my mom's birth year. Okay. Is this the car? Yeah, this is the car. So this is just like the person that bought the car from Kaylee. We don't even have to really go through this, but it's just that he located the vehicle on there and she got $6,500 cash. It says he heard Gonzalez tell her father that she was going to keep the money as she got into a light colored, I think, SUV that had arrived as they completed the deal. Okay. And then they interviewed this person by phone for the lease agreement. The digital numerical keyless entry located on the front door had redacted codes: 1, programming; 2, maintenance; 3, code A; and 4, code B. Occupants could provide the door code to whoever they chose. The keyless entry was maintained by Redacted of Moscow. It was last serviced on October 19th, 2020. The keyless entry was not Wi-Fi or Bluetooth enabled and did not keep a log of entries. On December 4th, I contacted Redacted by phone, requested a DNA sample. Redacted had been interviewed the previous day by SP detectives. However, they did not collect a DNA sample and they agreed to meet with them. Okay. Took the sample, put it into evidence, gave it to Moscow. Let's see. Um, okay, so they met with someone at the sorority house. And then offered surveillance video of the house captured on the 12th and the 13th. So just they're just getting the surveillance, business location surveillance. So someone took the buccal swabs and fingerprints from someone. Okay. Look at all those redactions. Okay. So they talked to this person via phone call. She stated she was on social media video. She was in the social media video at the food truck where Kaylee and Maddie were seen. She did not remember any interaction with Gonzalez and Mogan. She said she was there with a friend and gave their name and had already been interviewed by another detective. She said she was also there with another male named and gave the name, but did not know his last name. She said she was just calling because she saw herself in the video on the news and did not want police to have to track her down. No further information at this time. Okay. And then they speak to someone else via recorded phone call. She was at the Starbucks in Moscow when she got a text alert from Washington State University, where she is a student, alerting her to the homicide in Moscow. She went on to say that another female standing next to her got a text alert from University of Idaho stating to shelter in place. She did not know who this female was, but said that the female stated she had seen a bloody knife outside of the redacted in Moscow in a drain pipe. The female told redacted she had reported what she saw to a redacted employee. So she described the female as 5'2" to 5'4". There was no record of anybody reporting finding a knife. So, yeah, people be weird. So then on another interview, it was a Washington State University student and his wife were visiting. They told me that his daughter and wife noticed a male following them while inside the redacted in Moscow on the evening of Friday, November 11th, 2022. They said his wife initially thought it was a loss prevention employee, but after hearing about the homicides in Moscow, he felt he needed to call and advise about this male. They collected surveillance video. It's been submitted into evidence. Okay, just somebody saying, hey, I knew this guy. He had a knife one time. Some of these are ridiculous. I guess, I mean, always call it in if you feel like it's important, but. Okay, they conducted something over the phone. So she said that her redacted, who was later identified, lived in Pullman, Washington, just off of the Washington State University campus in a house with 2 units in it. The address of the residence was Pullman, Washington. One night, redacted left to pick up a friend at around 02:30 hours. When they got home, they noticed their back door was open and their roommates had locked themselves in a bedroom. One roommate said she woke up to a male wearing a mask holding a knife standing over her. What? That's scary. She kicked him. Oh, yeah, this is the one about, oh, yeah, this is the fighter. She kicked him and he fell backwards and then ran out of the house. Redacted said the police responded, then eventually questioned the male who lived in the second unit of the house, but he was never charged. And he should have been charged. I still want to know about that. Redacted would not tell me the name of the victim, but told me the victim's mother's name and gave me her phone number. Yeah, because she knows it was between 5'3" and 5'5". There's not that many men out there that are between 5'3" and 5'5", especially ones that live right beside you, right underneath of you. I don't know. So Redacted then gave them Redacted the phone. So they said all the girls that lived with her were members of a sorority, and she was the junior during this last school year. So it says said that the neighbor who was questioned did not cause any problems prior to or after this incident. She said she was living in the same house this year and had not seen the neighbor since March 2022 when his lease was not renewed. She said she did not associate with any of the sororities at University of Idaho. I did not know any of the individuals who were killed. She said she had parked her car outside the back door and had left it unlocked when she left to pick up her friend who was nearby. She said the door is normally locked other than when one of the residents was making a quick trip away from the house. Okay, so that we don't really need to know. That was this, yeah, so this is the same guy. So now this one says the investigation continues. Now we'll see. Because the last time it said like investigation over or something. So we'll go through a few more of these. Okay. So these are their assigned areas, it looks like, to canvas. So a male who identified himself as redacted answered the door. He checked the footage of his Ring camera and nothing was captured during the morning of 11/13/2022. Okay, the residents there were not home. No relevant footage. Left a voicemail to get the camera there. Oh, I guess the camera, she informed me the camera was fake. Oh, that sucks. Okay, let's see here. What the heavens? Okay, well, there's a lot of people. Someone even older than me. Date of birth, 1982. We might be scrolling through these for a minute. If that's okay, never mind. So what? Unknown complete name or date of birth. She wished to report a suspicious interaction her husband had with a male earlier that day. They informed me the Moscow police had taken the call, contacted the male, and released him after their interaction. Okay. So then I contacted this person. It says, as Gonzalez and Mogan said they had dropped last semester. Oh, wait. Okay, it was in the redacted as Gonzalez and Mogan, but said they had dropped last semester. She mentioned a male named redacted that was fairly violent and got into a lot of fights. Mogan and Gonzalez associated sometimes as recently as October 2022, but believed that he had got kicked out of the U of I. She knew that Mogan's ex-boyfriend was named redacted and her current boyfriend was redacted. Mogan stayed in touch and talked to these people, redacted and redacted. Redacted believed Mogan still possibly had feelings for this other person. Okay. So then with the previous information, they contacted this person. It says, inform me that their friend lived near 1122 King Road and had surveillance video of someone leaving the area around the time of the incident. In the follow-up call, they told me there was a homeless man with a beard and a limp that lived in the area where Gonzalez and Mogan were spotted. She said the male in redacted surveillance video appear to have a beard and a limp as well. Redacted also told me she had heard through a friend that Kernodle commented on someone's TikTok video around 0400 hours the night of the incident. I asked Redacted to find out where that information had come from and to relay that to me. She said she would try to find the source of the information. All you have to do is go to Xana's TikTok. With the previous information, they contacted unknown complete or date of birth. They don't know who they are. It says, I confirm that the video was taken from a light socket powered camera and that Moscow police had already secured the camera. Okay. They contacted this person. So this will summarize our interaction. It says, I had previously received information from another source that Gonzalez potentially had a stalker or someone interested in her without replication. Redacted operates, where Gonzalez was employed from 6/3/2022 until 7/16/2022. Man, that's not a long time to be somewhere. Redacted did not recall a time where Gonzalez was made uncomfortable by any employee or patron. He contacted current employees and the assistant manager. He did not discover an instance where that happened. Redacted said that the male named Redacted, born in 1998, had asked for a highlighter on 8/22/2022. When he was provided one by restaurant staff, he said he wanted to destroy his face and began drawing on himself. He was trespassed by police. What the heaven? On the night of November 12th, Redacted left the restaurant late around 01:35. He took a taxi home where his other half was and stated his home video system shows him at home there until late morning on November 13th. Okay. He said he'd been good friends with Gonzalez, Mogan, and Coronado. What? This is someone from his junior year of... Oh, I thought it was junior year of high school. Met Gonzalez in 8th grade, Mogan in 8th grade, and Coronado his junior year of college. He was friends with all of them, but the closest with Coronado. In fact, Redacted met his girlfriend through Coronado. Redacted graduated University of Idaho Spring and has never been to 1122 King Road. He had heard that a male had been following female employees in the back parking lot. It says that was debunked in the conversation with Redacted. Had a friend named Redacted who was in Moscow that weekend of the murder. It says he was going to walk with Gonzalez and Mogan home, but did not because they went to a frat party, which he could not attend because he was not a student. Then they contact this person who knew Gonzalez, Mogan, and Coronado from school and was living in North Idaho. He lives in Coeur d'Alene area and had gone to Moscow on 11/12/22. He texted Mogan on 11/12/22, but was never with her in person. His last text contact with her was on 11/12/2022 at 19:46 hours. He did not have contact with Gonzalez or Coronado that night. He was not able to attend the fraternity party because he was not a student. He thought perhaps he could have prevented this incident if he had partied with the girls because he would have walked them home, but was not physically with them that night. On the night of 11/12, this person Redacted was at a party near Redacted Apartments. He did not specify where exactly the party was held. Redacted mentioned he heard Gonzalez had been followed by a strange male, but he did not know this firsthand this knowledge of the incident. So then they contacted someone else, did not answer but called back, and he was roommates with Ethan Chapin last year and was currently a roommate of Redacted. He had daily contact with Chapin, who would commonly come over to play Xbox. He was one of Chapin's best friends. He had known Coronado since before she and Chapin started dating. He didn't really know Gonzalez or Mogan. He identified his girlfriend as Redacted, and he provided a phone number. They had gone to the 1122 King Road a few times this year. On November 12th, they attended the formal party and went to the Redacted party afterwards. He left the party around 0100 and went to a party at the apartment building accompanied by Redacted and Redacted. The apartment unit they went to was referred to as secret party place. They were there until about 0500 hours. When they returned to their unit at Redacted, they went to bed around 5:30. This is the same thing. Xbox. The only difference is this, like at the bottom. There were at least 2 males at the apartment, and Redacted believed their names were, and they all went to bed around 4:15. Okay. Oh, we went past. I was going to go to page 150. So we'll stop it here. Let's see. Okay, we'll go down. We'll read this part in like the narrative. So on November 18th at approximately 18:06 hours, Idaho State Police, they interviewed by phone, and this is what they said. It was reported to me that this person had conversations with Ethan Chapin the night of the incident, but Redacted denied that. Redacted has Chapin for a year and a half and described Chapin as one of his best friends. Redacted lived in an apartment, and then he gives his roommates. He was present with Chapin at the lodge, but they didn't really have much contact. Specifically said he was off doing his own thing and hanging out with his girlfriend. When I asked who his girlfriend was, this person paused and said, I don't really feel comfortable answering these questions. I don't know. I asked Redacted if there was any reason why. He replied, I don't know, like out of respect of Ethan. I don't know, like, okay, redacted is my girlfriend. I just answer the questions. After that, redacted seemed more forthcoming with information. So they were at somewhere most of the night, the party house, went to bed early, and then he went to the other apartments. He was there with some people that were redacted, who were a couple of his fraternity brothers around 1:30 in the morning, 11:13. They went to the upper right apartment, and they believed they gave the number, and it was commonly called somewhere to everyone. Well, we don't know where it's called. It's not Cheers. I'll tell you that. I mean, you don't walk in and everyone knows your name because you don't know where it's at. There was a male resident there named redacted unknown last name, along with all these redacted people and a couple of unidentified females. Should just put them under redaction. They stayed there for a couple hours before leaving around 3:30, returning to redacted. When they left the redacted, they went down the stairs across the parking lot, crossed Taylor Avenue, and went across the field to somewhere to make some food and went to bed around 500 hours. Redacted said he did not text or have any other electronic communication with Chapin that night. He did not know when Chapin left the party. He knew Chapin and Coronado had been dating since before the previous school year ended. He estimated it was about 7 months. Chapin stayed with Coronado about 6 days per week. He said that he knew Coronado fairly well, but did not know Gonzalez or Mogan as well. He would see Gonzalez and Mogan here and there, but they would not sit down and have a conversation or spend time together. He went to the 1122 King Road house once every week or 2 weeks. He said a party was hosted there about weekly. A typical party would be attended by 50 or 60 people. He described the dynamic of the house as fine and stated they all seemed to get along really well. He knew redacted for about a year and a half and knew her fairly well. He did not have she did not have a boyfriend and lived at 112 had lived at 1122 King Road since the start of that semester. Redacted had just met Redacted at the beginning of the semester and knew her from going to the King Road house to hang out. She did not have a boyfriend that she was aware of. She could not think of any person who would do something like this. I am also including the interview summaries of Redacted and Redacted who were with Redacted the night of the incident. Okay. So this person was roommates with Ethan Chapin last year and was currently a roommate and redacted. He had daily contact with Chapin, who would commonly come over to play Xbox. We read that already. Same thing. He didn't really know Gonzalez or Mogan. Okay. Yeah, this is the same because it's estimated due to the alcohol consumption. Okay. Wow. Oh, it's hot here too. It's like, oh, and it's like the peak of the day. They didn't, not to be like first world problems over here, but I'm like, is this poll going to be open more than times? Is it closed more times than it open? Because I was ready to go today. I was really ready to go. But I'm glad I actually walked the dogs and saw that, it wasn't. Oh, I thought she heard me. I saw that it wasn't open. I was going to check my email to see if they don't email people. Like, email someone. Send out a mass email. Like Wednesday, as of right now, last Wednesday, the poll is open. I mean, I don't know. So this girl needs her movement in the water. It helps my legs. It does help my legs. Oh, thanks, Mary Beth. Oh, yeah, Firefly. Like so earlier I went to do the live and I don't know how I did it, but I clicked it twice. It like double scheduled me. And then I went to go delete one and then it didn't delete it. It was like, we're cool. It deleted like the opposite one that I wanted it to delete. So I had to redo the whole live. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys being here listening to me, read these documents. We're getting into some really good stuff. We're on 158 now. Now there are 556. There are a lot, but I think that we can start going through them a little faster. I feel like with every live, I'm getting faster at it. So I think that we'll, and we're not missing anything. You know, I'm trying not to miss anything in the documents because I feel like there's some stuff, you know, to go through. It's 91 there. I think that's about what it is here. Oh, thanks, Miss CDs. I appreciate that. It must be the microphone. Let's see what the temperature is here. I'm probably outside like with the hose, 85, but it feels like something else probably. Let's see what it says. Oh, it feels like 89. It's that dang humidity, but I know you have it down there too, Ashley, that humidity. Oh gosh, no, I can't do that humidity. It gets me. I have to wear like these outfits, like one piece outfits, because if not, I'm going to look like a wreck. I'm like, I get hot easily. So I get really hot very easily. But thank you again for being here. I'll be back on probably tonight. I was debating on whether to do a night live or not, but I think I probably will. Oh, look, my screen's not even on. Look, that screen. That was weird. I mean, I kind of like it with just the black, but then I don't know. My screen's black, so it looks kind of weird. Okay, I'm gonna put that up. Yeah, please like and subscribe. On your way out, don't forget to do that. I usually am on at night, at 9:15 p.m. I'm trying to work some more day lives though into my schedule. That way I can get some more sleep because I just feel like I've been like lacking in the sleep field or something lately. Something's off. I don't know. It's like the universe is off for some reason. So that's why I came on today just to make sure, but I feel a lot better. Like just reading to you guys. Yeah, I'm going to be sitting inside. Actually, I have to take the dogs on a walk. I took them on a walk earlier and they did not go to the bathroom for me. So we'll be going back out. But thanks again for being here. I don't know where my other dog's at. She pieced out. She gone. So it's just me and the cat. But I'm going to jump off here, let them out and, get things ready for tonight. So I will see you guys all soon. Have a wonderful evening if I don't see you. And if I do, I will see you guys all soon. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out.